Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and now your host, AJ Orsini.
Hello everybody, this is AJ Orsini, and I am your host of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. We are here today with episode 18. And man, how long has it been? I feel like I had this long stretch of time where it was just me, and I was begging for company and interviews and trying to get guests and all this different shit, and I feel like I've been away for too long. This episode is just me, and it kind of feels plain Jane. Sorry to be the only one here today, but it is just me, solo, out of mode, just me, AJ Orsini, your host, and I'm here with episode 18, and let me tell you, a lot of shit has gone down. I don't even know where to begin. Not just this last week, but over the course of 2 weeks, for the most part. I mean, I've done I did the Royal Rumble Roundtable as a special Sunday episode. I had the first interview with EC Negro just last week. My God in heaven. So much has gone on. So many things to talk about. So many people to thank. So many people to rub in their face all the different shit that I told them was going to happen. I'm in a very, 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 very cheerful mood today, in spite of the fact that I've been very, 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 very fucking sick. Pretty much to last. There it is right there. A little bronchial cough. Let me see. There you go. You're supposed to hide those. That's how radio works. But I don't care. It's uncensored, baby. Body functions are going to be on the show. Yes. So, just to catch you guys up on a lot of shit. Okay? So, first of all, I was sick. And I don't get sick. It's pretty well-known fact. It's a scientific fact that AJ Orsini does not get sick. Very rarely. I am surrounded by people who get sick all the time. I do not get sick. I was sick, however, this past week. Had some symptoms of different things. Didn't know what was going on. I was still going to work. I wasn't really going to the doctor because that's not what I do. I usually just go through shit until it goes away. But I was coerced. I was bamboozled. I was hoodwinked into going into a walk-in clinic, and I did so only to find out what I already had assumed. The doctor ran all these tests to confirm what I already knew, because I know my body, and I know what my body's been through. I had the bronchitis, acute kind. It was acute bronchitis, not ugly. It was a very attractive, very sleek, slender, apple-bottomed bronchitis that I had. The kind of bronchitis you'd like to take home to mom. That's the kind of bronchitis that I had. I had acute bronchitis, and I had some fluid in my lungs. Still a little bit there. Still Z-packing right now. That's right. I got Z-packed for my bronchitis. It's worked wonders for me, by the way. It's put me back in the game, going to work, doing what I got to do. Basically, my recommendation for you folks out there, Z-Packs, great for bronchitis, terrible for staph infections, obviously. That's a wrestling joke if you didn't know. But yes, I got Z-packed. Bronchitis has been kicked in the ass after it kicked me in the ass. So I guess you can call that one a double down, because I was getting my ass kicked pretty good by that. Then my wife got sick, then my son got sick, and all of us spent the last weekend sick as a dog. All three of us in the House of O. The House of O was injured. House of O was down. There was some sickness going down here. We're all feeling better. The week is progressing. My son's still fighting a bit of a fever. But for the most part, everyone seems to be okay. I still have my cough, and my wife seems to have improved pretty much all around. It's kind of a working miracle that she got better before all of us, because she's usually the sickest out of all of us. So that's good. It's a good turn, good fortune there on her end. So yeah, got sick, but not unfortunately, very fortunately for me, a lot of the material that I put out over the course of last week was all done before I got sick. The EC Negro thing got recorded on Martin Luther King Day. I wanted to clarify something about the Royal Rumble Roundtable episode. It was filmed the Sunday before the 25th anniversary of Raw aired. A couple of my buddies came over to the house, recorded the episode with me, and we did it before the episode. So I noticed listening back to it, there were a few points made, like when Ian said that if Roman Reigns is still the Intercontinental Champion, which we all know now that he is not only did he not retain at Raw 25, but he lost his rematch yesterday after also losing in the Royal Rumble. So Roman Reigns is kind of on a losing streak right now as we speak. But yes, I wanted to clarify those things. There were a couple points made on that episode that when it aired were not factual. So that's why it was. I was just letting you guys know that it was preempted, which is why there was some missing pieces to some of those conversations that we had. And on that note, when it comes to the episodes between EC Negra's episode, the Royal Rumble, the last, I started looking over some of the stats on the website because I try to keep a sharp eye on what's happening to the show when I'm not actually airing episodes and trying to manage. This is like this podcast thing is like a 7-day-a-week job. You know, you got to keep on it. And I was noticing that my numbers are on a pretty steady climb, not plateau, but an actual climb. And that's awesome. And it makes me feel awesome, and it makes my family feel awesome. So I can't thank you guys enough. The last few episodes in particular have been some of the most highly downloaded stuff that I've got. And what makes me feel very encouraged is just not just that the recent stuff has been going over so well with you guys, but it's the fact that I must be getting newer fans, because there are people who are downloading the newer episodes and then going back and downloading the old ones. So that's awesome. That's an awesome feeling. That's expansion that's happening. The audience is growing. So that's great. And I can't thank you guys enough for everything that you guys have done, for supporting me and supporting the podcast. When I first started this whole thing, I didn't know what was going to happen. That's why I said in the beginning of it, I'm not really doing it for you fuckers. I'm doing it for me as an outlet and just see where the fuck it goes. Well, apparently the way that it goes is up. And that's thanks to all of you guys listening to this. So thank you so much for the downloads and for the shares and for the likes and for the votes. I did a poll leading up to the Royal Rumble on whether or not you were excited for it, because there was some people online complaining either or. So I kind of wanted a clear-cut idea of what it would look like. So I put up a poll, and Lord and behold, 230 people. That's a good number for me. 230 people voted. And it was 76-23, or 76-24, I should say, mathematically, in favor of very much in excitement for the Royal Rumble. And in my opinion, the Royal Rumble delivered. We'll get on to that a little later on in the show. But again, I'm just bringing this up as evidence to everything that's been going down. You know, the votes, the shares. And now, in case you guys missed it, I announced earlier yesterday that the show's officially on iTunes. That's a big step for me. I'm like I said, I'm learning as I go and building a brand here and trying to build something from literally nothing. I'm literally building something from nothing. None of this shit existed pre-October 11th. You know, it wasn't like I had a team of people come in and build something for me. I'm literally doing this on my own. I'm not literally on my own. I'm doing most of the work, obviously, on my own, but you know, my wife's helping me. I've had people help me out with equipment. I've had, you know, I got a guy to do the logo for me. So to everyone who was a part of the process, to everyone who has stuck with me since day one, thank you so much. I hope you continue to stay with me. There's some noticeable listeners: Jose Rivera, Eric Jaden, Alex Polgreen, guys that I know for sure have probably listened to every single episode that I've done so far, because they comment on it and they give me feedback on it. So I know that they're listening to it. So I appreciate those guys for being consistent listeners. And if I've missed your name, if you're a consistent listener and I'm not aware of it, then hit me up. Let me know what's going on. All of my social media stuff is always attached to literally everything with the show. Every video that I put out has my social media stuff on it. But, you know, the email, ajorsini96host@gmail.com. I'm always willing to listen to you guys. Send me some emails, send me some feedback, send me some questions, and anything you want to start a conversation with on the show. Please feel free to do so at literally any point in time. And let me know, hey, fucker, I've listened to every episode too, and you didn't say shit to me. Well, I don't know. I named those 3 people because I know they do. So if you do and I don't know, then let me know if you can follow all that. So I have a lot of stuff I want to get to on this show because, like I said, a lot of shit's gone down over the last 2 weeks. And in the beginning, when this show really first started, I was telling people, you know, I don't really want this to be a wrestling podcast. I kind of want to be all over the map with it. It's kind of singled out into a wrestling podcast. It's kind of become that. So I'm rolling with it. I'm just trying to be natural with it. If wrestling's all I talk about, cool. If not, if I want to talk about something else, I will. And I kind of do want to talk about something else, at least for the first minute here. And really, I really wanted to lead with this one because it lends something to my personality. I think it's something that people need to know about me. There's a story that broke yesterday, or I'm not entirely sure if it was just yesterday, but there's a story that broke in the sports world. As many of you may or may not know, the Super Bowl is coming up this Sunday. And it's between the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's Boston versus Philly. So I'm sure 75% of the country really doesn't give a shit about this game. But I'm familiar with both cities. And some shit went down. And not with Philly, but some shit went down in Boston. It was like Boston on Boston crime. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it and how it reflects upon me is I'm the kind of person, I'm going to let you in on a little secret about me. I'm the kind of person where I really don't give a shit about a lot of things. I really just don't care. I don't. It causes me to be stress-free a lot of the time. 90% of the time I'm stress-free about not giving a shit. 10% of the time, not giving a shit really causes problems. Because there's a lot of things that come up sometimes where I should give a shit when I usually am still in the I don't give a shit mode. So there's a lot of things that people... Not a lot of things, excuse me. There are very, very, very few things that a person can do to legitimately piss me off. Because to piss me off, that means you're close enough to me to hurt me, and I don't let people close enough to me to hurt me. You can say shit to my face, you can call me a bitch, you can call me a punk, you can do whatever. I'm probably not going to give a shit enough to do something about it. I might get mad, and I might have words for you, but I really have no intentions of getting up and throwing hands with you. Unless I really, 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 really have to. I will defend myself, of course. But I'm not really much of a confrontational fucking guy. All right, I can be aggressive if need be. Trust me. But for the most part, I enjoy being docile as fuck. And people usually have a hard time getting to me. But I do have some easy triggers. And I probably shouldn't say what they are out loud. But again, I don't give a fuck. Following the trend here, I don't give a fuck. And those triggers are pretty easy. It's my family, and my family. You fuck with my mother, you fuck with my brother, you fuck with my sisters, you fuck with my wife, or you fuck with my son. You have officially told me that you don't value your life and that you wish to die, and I'm the person you chose to accomplish said mission. That's what you're telling me, because fucking with those, like I said, you can say whatever you want to me. I don't care. You can critique me. You can criticize me. You can call me a gay. You can do what. I don't care. I've been called everything in the book. It really doesn't matter to me. I'll sit here and just look at you like you fucking crazy. But attacking either verbally or physically any of those people that I just mentioned, and your life is forfeit as far as I'm concerned. And I mean all the way. I will burn your fucking house down. I will chop down your fucking family tree. I will go from top to bottom and make you absolutely sure that you regret ever mentioning my fucking kid or my fucking family. That's just the way that it goes with that. So the reason why I bring that up is because the Super Bowl is about to take place and some shit went down over in Boston. Now, there's a big-time radio station over in Boston called WEEI, awfully close to WWE. I read it wrong at least the first 15 times I saw this. But there's a show host over there by the name of Reimer. And it's the Boston area. Super Bowl's coming up. So normally during the New England Patriots season, they do a spot with Tom Brady on Monday discussing, obviously, football and the game the day before. And for whatever reason, this particular week, Reimer decided to be cool with him and his co-host to break down some footage they saw in a recent documentary, including Tom Brady, called Time versus Time. Okay, Tom versus Time. Because he's trying to be the quarterback that beats the age gap, yada, 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 yada. Anywho, he starts describing the fucking episode, to let people know what he thinks about it. And he describes Tom Brady's 5-year-old daughter as a pissant. He starts describing the scene, and he says, okay, this is going down. It's so contrived. Everything's going on. His daughter's acting like a little pissant. I didn't know if I could play the audio because everybody else did. I didn't pay for it, so fuck it. But that's the gist of it. He called Tom Brady's 5-year-old daughter a little pissant because she was being a little pushy about wanting to see friends or whatever the fuck. She was being a 5-year-old, essentially. This was her crime. And this fucking guy just jumped all over it and was just name calling a 5-year-old a fucking pissant. Now, if you don't know what a pissant is, Google that motherfucker, and I can promise you, it ain't nice. Okay, it ain't nice. I've heard a few white people use this in the past. So the reason why I bring this fucking story up because that shit to me is way out of bounds. But Tom Brady has gone on record since stating, that he doesn't want the guy fired. He still called into his spot just to let these fucking guys know that he's disappointed. He's upset about the fact that these guys are insulting his little girl, and basically told him that he's going to readjust and see if he ever wants to come back on the station again. He hangs the fucking phone up. And then he goes public stating that, guys make mistakes, and I don't know if I want him to lose his job, but, there has to be some sort of consequence, yada, 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 yada. Tom is handling this perfectly because you don't want to be seen as the bad guy, even though he's clearly in the right if he were to react a particular way. But Tom is like the Godfather, all right? He's the Godfather, especially in Boston, okay? He knows that he doesn't need to say, I want this guy fucking gone. Boston will do that for him, okay? Boston will take care of that for him. If I'm Alex Reimer, I don't want to be anywhere near the fucking city of Boston right now. Or the city of Minnesota, for that matter, because that's where the Super Bowl is being played, and that's where all the players currently are. And this guy went way too fucking far. Way too fucking far. Pissant? Pissant. Holy shit, dude. I'm not this little girl's father, but when I heard that, I blacked out. And the fact that Tom Brady's handling it the way that he is perfect for him. It's perfect for him because he's a celebrity. He's, quote unquote, the greatest of all time. He needs to handle this with kid gloves. I don't have that luxury. I would want this fucking dude dead. Forget fucking fired. The job is non-sequential at this point. His life is forfeit. He's fucking with my family here. He's talking shit about a 5-year-old daughter. 5-year-old. Nah, you gotta get it. I heard it a few times. I heard it a few times online today. He does. This guy owes Tom Brady 5 minutes. 5 minutes, bruh. Give me 60 seconds. The job is done. Quick, easy, and it won't be painless. It'll be nice and slow for him too. At the end of those 60 seconds, I'll leave him in a position where he's gonna wish it was 5 minutes. Seriously, the 5 minutes would have probably ended his life. That is disgusting, beyond disgusting. And this is coming from a guy who's doing a fucking uncensored podcast. I say dirty shit all the time. That round table had a lot of dirty shit in it. But we never once mentioned anyone's fucking kids. That's fucking disgusting. And that's a trigger for me. I'm sorry. I do things that will put me in the public eye from time to time, I'm sure. I do the wrestling shows every now and then. I do the podcast, obviously. And, I'm open to interpret. I'm open for whatever. Clearly. I put my name on the dotted line. It's what it is. But when you start talking about kids, bro, that's too fucking much. Way too fucking much. And I really, I'm not Tom Brady. I hope the guy does get fired. Because that's just stupid upon stupid. You're talking shit about the child of the fucking Patriot quarterback, the guy you're covering, Super Bowl week. The last opportunity, the last fucking place that you should be insulting, with the last fucking guy that you should be insulting. It's the dumbest fucking thing ever. It's stupid. And if you need to be told that that's stupid, then you are stupid. And he doesn't deserve to be on the fucking air. And that's just the way that is. All right, so I just wanted to bring that shit up. That shit made me fucking black out. I legit heard that shit and I was mad. It was one of the first times I felt like a parent. I was just like, fuck this guy. I very rarely ever feel like a parent. You know, there's some dude who just lives in my house. It's kind of how I rationalize this. But that was like a real parent moment where I was like, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Speaking of parental moment, if I could segue for a second, can somebody get Floyd Mayweather Sr. on the fucking phone, please? I don't have this guy on fucking speed dial or in my contacts. I'll take an email. I'll take an IG. Whatever the fuck Floyd Mayweather Sr. has. Please pass that shit to me so I could tell him to come get his motherfucking son. He is stuck somewhere in some warehouse somewhere acting a damn fool. This dude is in MMA training gear walking around an octagon sharing videos on his page in silence and shit, just walking around the fucking octagon like he's supposed to be insinuating what? That you trying MMA next? Will somebody come get this fool real quick, please? The guy's a millionaire. This guy makes a ton of money. What the fuck is he doing in the octagon? Please tell me this shit is on some cardio training shit, that he's not really thinking about doing what we all think he's thinking about doing. I mean, he got away with that boxing shit. That was the whole reason why he was favored. It was a boxing match. He fought an MMA guy in a boxing match. And he's one of the greatest boxers of all time. That's what I'm being told, of course. I know a little bit about boxing myself. I don't know if I would put him in that category. But the record states that he should be in the conversation. 50-0. He 50-0. So he's in the conversation, whether I want to have that conversation with you or not. But the octagon, oh, hell no. Listen. Floyd. Listen, Floyd. Floyd, listen. No, listen, Floyd. No. Sit the fuck down. Sit down. You're at a point now in your career where you can place bets on MMA. You don't get in there and work that fucking... No. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. This is some friendly advice from AJ Orsini, bro. No octagon. Keep your ass outside the cage, please. Fucking Christ. Don't do that shit to yourself. And it's just so funny that he's making these videos like he's about to get into the octagon, right? Like he'll gonna do some MMA. He gonna do some mixed martial arts. But guess what? MMA just lost a very big star, did they not? Oh yeah, we got to talk about that. They lost a big star, didn't they? MMA lost a huge star. And she found her way to the WWE. She's, oh, we took your money, Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's what you can call us. Oh, the WWE got Ronda Rousey, baby, on contract, full time, whatever the fuck that means, because she wasn't even on Raw. So I'm unclear as to what the actual parameters of this shit really is. But yeah, Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble this past weekend, making her WWE debut, and of course, on fucking point. The UFC tards absolutely cannot sink their teeth into this shit. First of all, they were already butthurt that a WWE guy can go in there and win their fucking championship. That shit fucked with UFC people. Because I know there's a nice blend of WWE fans and UFC fans. A lot of WWE fans like UFC and vice versa. But there's those diehards on both sides. And you guys know me. When it comes to Marvel and DC, I'm Marvel. Yankees and the Mets, I'm Met. UFC versus WWE, I'm WWE, motherfucker. And I'm not going to sit here and let these people trash talk my brand new lady. Ronda Rousey's my lady. And she going to make us money, baby. That's right. Moolah, because you UFC people are really flippy floppy, okay? When Ronda was on top, y'all was loving it. All right, y'all had y'all heads filled with all kind of goodness. Y'all thought Ronda was gonna beat Floyd. Remember all those conversations? Yeah, in an MMA contest, Ronda would choke Floyd Mayweather out. She'd beat his ass. That was when she was on top of the world. She took one heavy loss after the other, and all of a sudden she's used the fuck up, right? Right? You guys don't need her anymore. That's not the UFC and boxing. You take like 2 fucking losses, 3 fucking losses, and they just fucking discard you like trash. 50 fucking wins, 60 fucking wins, and they 2 losses, and that's it. That's it. There's no money in there anymore. Well, guess what? Ronda, baby, don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that thing, baby. You come to the WWE, and we make you a star, baby. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to re-energize Ronda Rousey's career. We're going to make her once again one of the top athlete celebrities in the world. And she'll get that done here in the WWE. UFC don't want her? Hell, we are going to take her. And she's already making headways. She's all over the internet. She's all over on the news sites. They're all making waves here. Ronda Rousey in the Royal Rumble, baby. Absolutely. Ronda Rousey. Oh, we took her. Holla. Read between the lines on that one. But yeah, Ronda Rousey came on during the Royal Rumble week, and she came at the very end of the Royal Rumble as Asuka won the Women's Royal Rumble. The very first Women's Royal Rumble with 30. And I said on the podcast, I said it right here, folks, when I was arguing with my wife about this, 30, I kept saying, how many times did I say it? 30's too many. 30 was too many. You have the first Royal Rumble, you want to put your best foot forward. 30 was too many. And I said it before the show. I said it during the show. Of course, you guys don't know that because you're not in my house. And now I'm saying it now that the show's over. 30 was too fucking many. They had to fill and fill and fill and fill and fill that they did. Tori Wilson, Kelly, Michelle McCool, Jacqueline, Lita, Trish. Molly Holly. They just dug into the bag. They pulled up anybody got gear in the trunk. Come on in. We got plenty of spots for you. That's what that was. Now, there were a few returns in that matchup that were awesome. First of all, Tori Wilson coming back, not that overwhelming, obviously. I think that might have been the first time in her life she ever wore ring gear. I don't even know if she's ever sported ring gear before, but she's looking good. Kidman, you fucking idiot. What did you do? She is keeping herself tight, my friend. What is wrong with you? The wrestling ability, of course, is still there, which means she has none. All right, Kelly. Jesus Christ. There were some good ones. Molly Holly almost killed herself on the Molly go-round, but she pulled one off, so I popped for it. All right, Sasha Banks almost gave her a top rope power bomb, but nope, Molly go-round it was. The most disappointing return, actually, in my opinion, I know Tori Wilson, Jacqueline, all those names that I just mentioned, but the most disappointing return was both Lita and Trish. What the fuck? They're both in the same match for the first time in years, and you have them an hour apart from each other? What the fuck? Lita in at 5 and Trish in at 30? Are you kidding me? Now, my wife did make the call. She said, man, how cool would it be, a nice little Lita-Trish showdown? And we all knew Trish was going to be in it. We all knew that. Lita was a question mark because she wasn't at the 25th anniversary. No one had heard from her, really. And then, boom, here comes number 5. So we're like, oh, shit, Lita's in. There's a possibility. Nope. No possibility. First of all, Lita, once again, almost ended her own life with that moonsault pile driver, baby. The moonsault pile driver. She took out her 2 opponents and herself. The kamikaze, the extreme diva. Lita flying through the air. The match overall as a whole, that Women's Rumble, I enjoyed it. I got a kick out of it. There were some spots here and there. I'm not going to sit here and nitpick. It is what it is. It's the women's match. It is what it is. So they did an excellent job. They had a lot of pressure on them, I'm sure. But they delivered. It had a predictable ending. It was one of the predictions that I had. For the most part, we all kind of knew Asuka. I mean, you can't beat Asuka at this point, even at the Rumble. Even at the they're so committed to making her an undefeated monster that she just beat 29 fucking bitches at the same night. So, Asuka may never lose now. She may never lose. And Asuka will then go on to face the champion of her choosing at WrestleMania. As of this recording, she still has not chose, but I think it's a pretty obvious choice that she's going with Alexa because they need her to stay on Raw, which opens up Charlotte. And there was some communication there with Ronda Rousey and a lot of hullabaloo on the internets that perhaps that's where they're going. That would be a huge fucking mistake. Huge fucking mistake. You don't want Ronda's very first matchup not just to be a one-on-one, but a one-on-one against Charlotte. Not to say that Charlotte's a bad worker, but, I mean, she doesn't have a reputation of being, the best carrier of all time. She's had some duds here and there, and with somebody with the inexperience of Ronda, man, that could spell trouble. I like the tag team rumor that they had originally, the 4-on-4. That fit better. I think it would have been better for the horsewomen as well. The UFC horsewomen. Because you can hide a lot of shit in there. One-on-one, man, you're exposed. So that could be very difficult. Be hit or miss. Ronda going in there one-on-one and putting on a nice display will put her in the driver's seat and will help her a lot. But to go out there and bomb, especially against Charlotte, who's being pushed as this dominant female, I mean, this top force, you lose to her in a pitiful way, that could fucking damage you. Really fucking could. Jesus Christ. I really hope it's not Ronda and Charlotte. But I don't make the bookings over there. I don't got the book. I don't think there is a book. I think it's the writers now. And Asuka is not the only Japanese to win a Rumble at the Royal Rumble, as Shinsuke Nakamura would win the men's Royal Rumble this past Sunday. Believe it or not, I mean, that's a stunning fact. I mean, how many Japanese superstars have any success in the WWE? And Asuka and Shinsuke won 2 Rumbles in the same night. First time ever that there was 2 Rumbles in one pay-per-view, and they were both won by Japanese stars. Holy shit. 2018, folks. It's getting less and less racist out here. Join us, man. The water's fine. This is great stuff. Great stuff. And what's even greater is that both individuals come out on their respective brands, because Asuka's a Raw superstar. Shinsuke's a SmackDown superstar. Asuka comes out and speaks, 5% English. And the rest in just her native tongue. And Shinsuke speaks English, but it sounds like not English. It's garbled mouth English. It's garbled mouthish. And it just sounds weird and just forced. So we have these 2 winners that are going to WrestleMania to face respective champions. And I dare say not a lick of English between them. And that's good. I'm actually for this. Because it's different. It opens the door. It's the same thing that when Jinder had the belt and they had him speaking both in English and Punjab. It's when other champions, I think Cesaro, when he was the United States champion, he was speaking different languages. I mean, if you're going to gear your company toward a global brand entity, I mean, you're going to have to start incorporating some of this. And I think what I love the most about Asuka's promo on Monday, celebrating her win, no translators, no subtitles. They didn't go out there and try to make it look like a Godzilla movie where she was just talking and it was dubbed and it was just some weird other Asian lady in a booth somewhere speaking for her, like the Taka Indeed, the Taka Michinoku stuff. They just let her go out there and just say whatever it is that she was going to say, and it didn't matter to anybody. That nobody in that fucking building understood what the fuck she was saying, unless The arena in Philly has like a little hibachi area in the back. Maybe those guys understood what was going on. But if they don't have that kind of amenity, then no, I don't think anybody in the building had a fucking clue that this fucking lady had just won the Royal Rumble. So the Rumble pay-per-view for me as a whole was entertaining. I liked it. I liked the way they did the handicap championship match. I told the guys at the Royal Rumble that triple threat was going to be trash. Trash is a little rough, but it was not that good. And there were other matches. The tag match died a death. The Raw tag title match. But it was between the Rumble. Somebody had to take that goddamn bullet, and I guess it was the tag guys. So there's that. We have Shinsuke and Asuka winning the Rumbles. We have the two championship matches. We had the pre-show match. The Royal Rumble overall was just it was a fun show. I cannot say the same for TakeOver. Now I'm going to predicate this by saying, for the most part, I love every TakeOver that I see. I cannot remember a TakeOver that had more duds than home runs. For the most part, TakeOvers are always kind of the same format. Either 5 matches, at the most 6, but usually they tend to stick to the 5. And this TakeOver was no different. It had 5 matches, and I'm telling you, 2 out of 5. And the 2 is stretching it. I was not a fan of basically the first 3 matches. I don't think they were terrible matches. I think they were in there with a purpose, with a story to tell. So I'm not going to kill them because I think they accomplished those goals. I think the purpose of the Velveteen Dream match with I was going to say Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno, the whole point of that match was more heat for Dream, and I think it worked. The whole point of Ember Moon and Shayna was to get Shayna some experience for that audience. I think they accomplished that. I mean, these matches, the Red Dragon and AOP, I'm not a big AOP advocator in the first place. So to put them in the ring with technical submission guys like Red Dragon, I mean, oh my God. It's not a good mix. It's not a good mix at all. So the first 3 matches lost me entirely. Cole and Black. Adam Cole, Aleister Black, Extreme Rules. Loved this match. My favorite match of the night. Told a story. It's so funny because with the Extreme Rules stipulation, I mean, there's so much more room to do things and tell that story, but there's also so much more room to fuck it up. But the way that things were going up until that match, I was scared to death that match was going to die a death, but it didn't. It was great. They took their time. They made every bump tell a story. It was great. On to the main event. Almas and Gargano. And again, Almas is a great athlete. I think he's fantastic in the ring. I love the addition of Zelina. She adds a lot to that character. Definitely gives it depth. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm digging him. I'm digging him as a champion. I'm getting on board. And then you skip over to Johnny, and I gotta tell you, I'm a bigger fan of Almas than I am of Johnny, and I always have been. And it's not a knock on him. I think he's an amazing performer. Johnny Gargano is an amazing performer. The guy puts on great matches, no doubt about it. I have personally seen this guy go in there with large opponents, smaller opponents, fast opponents, wrestling opponents, high flying opponents. Doesn't matter. The guy puts on great matches. But two things irk me to death about Johnny Gargano. One, that hazy sell he has. I know it's a selling point for people. I know some people who will tell me that's his strength. But when you do that haze for pretty much the whole second half of the match, every bump has that little concussion stare, I stopped buying into it. You know, if you want to do it for a big bump, if you want to do it for a big sequence or whatever, and you really want to sell the fact home that, you know, the lights are on, but no, I get it. But to do it on every bump kills me. And it takes me right out of it. I can't buy into the sell anymore. if that's really the only sell you're going to utilize. And the second thing, those false finishes. My God. When they got into the fallsy with the big pop, with the standing ovation big pop, you should have been at least 5 minutes away from the go home at that point. And they wrestled and longer and longer and longer, and it was the match that would not end. And they're dropping bomb after bomb after bomb, and it took me back to my Ring of Honor days when I used to go to the Ring of Honor shows. And for the record, that's why I stopped going to the Ring of Honor shows. I couldn't do it anymore. False finishes, kick out of finishes, 8-match card where all 8 matches has 10 fallsies and no one can put anybody away with a regular with a finishing move, and instead I'm seeing people beat by a distraction roll up, and it's just I can't do it. And now they're doing it on NXT, and I just can't stand it. I think the match overall is good. It's a good match. I think it would have been great had it ended right after that fucking standing ovation, when you know you have them. You give them a few things here and there. You start wrapping up into that go home, and you bring the fucker in. My God, that match would have almost been perfection. It would have almost been perfection, but they kept going and going and going. Which, by the way, was my critique of the Omega Okada match. That's why I didn't like it. You threw a finish in 35 minutes in, and then you wrestled 15, 20 more minutes. You just kept going, and then you lose me. I'm out. When you build up to the crescendo, and instead of the crescendo, you just redo the bridge again. I'm sorry. I can't follow you. It's done. It's over with in my head. So it's too much. It's just too much. I think it's a good match. I think the two guys in there are great at what they do, and they had great chemistry, and I think if we did it again, the match would be even better. I think the more these two go at each other, the better the match is going to be. Now, Ciampa comes in at the end and sets that up. Blind men saw that coming, and that's probably going to be your TakeOver New Orleans matchup, Ciampa and Gargano, which I'm all for. But hopefully, Ciampa's a lot like Gargano in that sense. The way that he sells and the way that he does things. So I really hope we just don't get one crazy fucking false finish mania matchup at New Orleans. I really don't. I think if the Cruiserweight Classic match they had, perfect. If you want to go down that route, and you don't need that many false finishes when you have the story these guys have and the story that these guys are going to tell. You don't need all these accoutrements. Just go in there and fucking have your match and tell your story, and you guys should be fine. So Ciampa and Gargano, I'm ready for it. Where does this leave Almas? I assume at some point Black, but Cole's right around the corner. Lars is leering. NXT scene right now is starting to pick up a little bit more momentum, which is usually an indication that it's going to drop soon, because it's usually once they start getting that damn momentum, when they start shipping them to the main roster and basically ending the lives of all these people. So, Royal Rumble for the first time in a long time, I'm going to go ahead and pick the WWE pay-per-view over the TakeOver. Usually I do pick the TakeOver over the pay-per-view. I've picked WrestleMania weekend TakeOvers over WrestleMania. That's how good the TakeOvers usually tend to be. This was not the case, in my opinion, with TakeOver. So, now that we got this past weekend out the way, I want to talk a little bit about the previous one. I want to talk a little bit about the Manhattan Center for the 25th anniversary of Raw. Now, the reason why I want to bring this up is because on social media, on the Facebook, as the kids call it, I made comment that said, if you were at the Manhattan Center and you were one of the ones chanting bullshit or refund, fuck you, no refund. You knew what you were paying for. You went, you amped yourself up, it didn't live up to your expectations, and it pissed you off. I would like to clarify that here on the podcast. Okay? Now, it's read a little stiff on Facebook, so I'd like to explain my actions. Okay? I'd like to clarify. So if you were at the Manhattan Center on Raw 25, I would just like to say that while the post did give you kind of a fuck you feel, allow me to be the one to officially say, fuck you. You knew what the fuck. You paid WrestleMania prices for a Raw. Nothing the WWE would have done that night would have lived up to the value of that ticket. If they would have given you all 3 hours of Raw, it would not have equated to the amount of money you paid for that ticket. I was under the assumption that some of the highest selling tickets were about $300 or $400 because I live in New York and I went online the day the Manhattan Center tickets went up because I said to myself, I've been a fan of Monday Night Raw for all 25 years. I have seen all, up until that point, 1,287 episodes that show has had. This is going to be the 1,288th, and it's going to be at the Manhattan Center. I need to be there. So initially, I was one of the marks. I said, I'm going to buy me a ticket. I'm going to go see me some Manhattan Center, some old school Raw here. And I went online, and I saw those fucking ticket prices. $300, $400. Since this Raw, I've heard higher numbers. $800. I heard talk of $1,000 for one seat. Now, nothing was advertised for that Raw just yet. When I saw the tickets, and that's $300, $400. At $300, $400, no advertisements whatsoever, no idea what's on the show. It's just 25th anniversary of Raw. Too rich for my blood. I backed out. Couldn't do it. Couldn't find it within myself to put the money on the table and go to see this event for that kind of money. I have too many responsibilities to do that. So I watched it at home. But you had the money to burn, right? Okay. So you buy the ticket. I feel you. You want to be there. But then they started advertising. I said it on my podcast before the episode aired. The Manhattan Center was only going to get 1 hour cumulatively, by the way, not like the first hour, second hour, or possibly just the third hour, but cumulatively over the course of the show, they would get an equal amount to 1 hour of play at the Manhattan Center. So for those of you bitching saying, well, all I did was watch it on TV, that's what they told you were going to do. Because they told you were only going to get 1 hour of live time. Now, if you want to complain that the 1 hour you got was a shitty hour, I will hear your complaint because it's a damn good one. If you're one of those people who don't mind paying what you paid, you just didn't like the quality of what you saw, I will give you your due. You can feel bad and you can talk shit. But if your feeling is that you didn't get your bang for your buck, that they should have done more for you, fuck you. You paid for the chair. You paid for the ticket. You got 1 hour of programming. Go about your business. Now, you guys chanted anyway. You threw your bitch fit. You threw your tantrum. And the WWE saw fit to load a fucking bus up and send a bunch of stars who were not booked for that venue. A bunch of stars who took time off of their evening, their off hour, to go to the Manhattan Center and entertain you regardless. Seth Rollins, Miz, Flair, they just sent a bunch of people over there. Okay, so you guys got more than your ticket was supposed to give you, and you're still mad. I'm sorry. I don't care. Sounds rough. Sounds harsh. But it's the truth. I don't care. This is what there was a petition going around that people should get their refunds. What refunds? Refunds for what? You received exactly what it is you paid for. You paid for the nostalgia. Did you see that building? Holy crap, it was beautiful. You paid for the ticket. Everybody wants the ticket that says you were there, 25th anniversary of Raw. You got your ticket. Commemorative chairs. Everybody had a chair. It wasn't a front row thing. It wasn't a floor seat thing. Everyone got a chair. Okay? Commemorative, of course. So if you're listening to this right now and you're saying, really, AJ? I paid $800 and I was supposed to live with a chair or a ticket, a few appearances from people who really didn't give a shit. That's what I'm supposed to be stuck with? Yes. Because that's what you were told you were getting, and you put the money on the fucking table anyway. So you can't get mad. You can't get mad. If Nathan's is charging you $3 for a hot dog, and you put your $3 down and you only get a hot dog, you can't be mad. Because I told you that hot dog was $3. And you put the money on the fucking table. So this is what you want. You want this hot dog. Boom. There you go. You can't get mad at me. You can't get mad at me. And I'm not sitting here advocating for the WWE. That show was not good. Barclay or Manhattan Center. After the Austin segment, I don't know what the fuck happened to the rest of this fucking show. The show was genuinely not good. So if you are making the argument that the show is not good, thus, in fact, not getting your money's worth, okay, you have me. You have me in the barrel here. There's not much I could do. But if your argument is not that, if your argument is that you didn't get enough going on at your venue, no, it's not how that works. It's not how that works. And I wanted to specify that. I have it on my notes here to bring that shit up. Because it really, really fucking bothered me. Especially since I posted that the other day. And there were people actually trying to defend the idea that they were owed something. You guys are not owed shit. You got what you paid for. All right? So grow up. They were attacking the bus. It was a big mess. Grow up. Seriously. Or they're going to stop coming. You know, those SummerSlam days, they're getting rougher and rougher coming over here to Barclay. So don't push your luck, please. Jesus Christ. Fandom, man. I don't know what to tell you. I love fans. I really do. I love fans. I love them. But you drive yourselves crazy. You really do. And then more importantly, to the real crazy side, you're driving each other nuts. Forget just yourself. Everyone in the room. You ever been in a group, a wrestling group before? It's like dog eat dog. It's dog eat dog. So you fans need to just cuidado, man. Take a chill pill, man. Relax. You'll get them on the next run. Did you see what they did with the legends on that show? They were show ponies. Show ponies, guests. That's it. They came out, they did a little fucking wave, a little shuck, a little jive, and on to the fucking next thing. That's it. These legends were treated real legendary at the fucking show. I'm telling you, outside of even the Undertaker promo was just off. It was just off. I don't know what was off about it, but it was just off. All right? Everything outside of the Austin segment, I don't know what to tell you. Even the Miz and Roman Reigns. I mean, there was just so much going on around it. I don't know. I don't know. I also have some other notes here that is not the WWE. And I don't bring this stuff up very much because it again, this is just personal opinion, but certain things run its course with me. Okay? The ending of the Manhattan Center episode was a meeting of the groups, if you will. DX and the Balor Club, which is a funny name for a group that we all know have a different name, called the Bullet Club. And they did the fucking too sweet in the ring, and everyone popped, and everyone had their moment, and it got gifted. It's all over the fucking internet right now, and Too Sweet and Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Finn Balor, the original Bullet Club. And I have to tell you, and you're not going to like this, but I got to tell you, I'm over the Bullet Club. I'm over it. I'm over it. I loved its original incarnation. I loved it. This is all just like the NWO, which is why I laughed that they mimicked the NWO and DX so much, because they're very much like it. When it was a few members, In the beginning, awesome. Once it became an interchangeable thing, there are guys working in the indies right now that wear Bullet Club shirts because they're technically part of the group, but I never see them with the group. It's almost like they just pick up anybody for the rub. There's like 30 members of the Bullet Club right now, but I only really want to watch like 3 of them. You know, first of all, the Too Sweet bothers me. It's not your thing. It's always bothered me, but at least it got over, and they got the blessing. You know, that's very important. They got the blessing. So they can do whatever they want as far as the signal goes. Or the Too Sweet. But I'm over it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so over it. And I think so is Kenny Omega. This past week, Kenny Omega, I don't know if it's official. I guess we'll find out over time. But, you know, the situation with Cody Rhodes and Ibushi comes out for the save. And they, you know, had the big embrace. And I guess that means that Kenny's officially out of the group. I'm not sure how that works. But there you go. Kenny Omega out of the Bullet Club. I don't know if that automatically puts Cody Rhodes into the power position. I mean, that's how it happened before, right? That's how Kenny got it, eliminating AJ from the group. But, yeah, I have a piece coming out that came from the roundtable about New Japan. I'm not much of a New Japan guy, but I do like a lot of the matches, and I do love a lot of the talent. And Kenny's one of those guys that I'm kind of wishy-washy on still, but for the most part, I give him the benefit of the doubt and go ahead and consider him one of the best. So if he's in a mode right now where he feels he wants to give this a shot without the Bullet Club gimmick behind him and it's just him and him doing whatever it is that he does, I'm with that. You know, I hope that he gets an opportunity to shine. I hope he gets an opportunity to prove once again that he can do this in the ring with just about anybody. And he can do it without the Bucks, and he can do it without Cody, and he can do it without any of the fucking Bullet Club members. Just be Kenny Omega. And that's what I'd love to see for all the Bullet Club members. You know? Sometimes a group together too long and they get stale, and it just, ugh. It's the same thing with the Shield. I was saying, the Shield is fucking cursed. Cursed, I tells you. Fucking the Shield. There's nothing you can do with that anymore. So I'm glad Roman eliminated Seth from the Royal Rumble. And I was just like, man, please let that be the caveat that ends everything, please. Because I can't do this anymore. I always want to move forward. I don't want to move backwards. You know, Bullet Club's been going on for a long fucking time. My God. That moment in the ring with Finn Balor and Triple H and the Balor Club and Dick, it took way too long to fucking get there. By the time it got there, I didn't give a fuck. You know, especially in this incarnation, because a lot of these guys have been here for years already, and they just recently got together as a group as early as about 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm a little over the Bullet Club thing. A little over it. And I'm glad to see Kenny's kind of feeling the same way, man. This was fun. I miss talking to you guys, just me. It was fun. I have some more interviews coming up. Absolutely have some more interviews coming up. If there's anyone you guys want me to interview, let me know. You know, and I'll try to hit that person up and see what we can work out. And, you know, most of the time with these interviews, it's scheduling, taking the time to actually sit down and record them. I have a mobile way of going around with my equipment, but for the most part, I'm trying to keep it centralized to the one location, the House of O. So it gets hard, you know. Not everybody's in Brooklyn. So we got to make things work and make things do. And this week should be interesting. So definitely going to keep my ears out for you guys. Let me know what you want me to do as far as the interviews. Also, once again, if you guys want to have some feedback for the show, ask me some questions, start some conversations and debates, send that information to my email, ajorsini96host@gmail.com, or you could message any of these social media accounts that you see there on the bottom, and you can get in touch with me and let me know what's going on. All right, guys? So, once again, thank you guys so much for the support. I got big things coming up, and I know that I've said that to you in the past, but if you believed me then and you're seeing all the content coming out now. I'm telling you, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to do with this. I hope to do so much more with this. Not just being socially conscious, but and not just being part of the wrestling business, but just overall, just being able to convey whatever message I need conveyed to you guys. I never took the time to say this, but I love you guys. Thank you very much for your support, for the downloads. Please continue to do it. You guys have no idea how important it is to me that the show goes somewhere and does something. I've always wanted to accomplish something that is mine and not a part of someone else's deal. So I thank you guys so much for the support and for the listens and for the downloads. Once again, I'm on iTunes now. So if you're an Apple user, an iPhone, iPad, whatever, you can catch my episodes there. You can go directly into the program and just search Orsini's Uncensored Mind. Or you can click the link. I'm going to have a link attached to this episode that takes you to the library of episodes on iTunes. Again, I want to stress also, the iTunes has it labeled already, but in case you miss it, for disclaimer purposes, this show is explicit language. It is parental advisory, yada yada yada. There's no kids allowed really listening to the show. I have the settings on social media already to avoid that. I'm pretty much a 21 and over show, and I'm proud of that. There's a lot of fucking material out here for kids. There's shows, there's movies, everything is involved with fucking kids, and it's to the point where even the adults are getting fucking sensitive to it. I get told all the time, dude, I love your show, but dude, the cursing is just so much cursing. This is what it's going to be, folks. I've said it since day one. I try not to OD with it, but I curse when I speak. That's just the way that it is. I've been trying to curb it back a bit now that my son's going to be 3, because the guy is a fucking parrot. He just hears a bunch of shit, and he doesn't know what I'm saying. And he doesn't know what I'm saying is bad. So I'm trying to cut back on that end, but for the show, bro, it's fucking called Uncensored Mind. It's uncensored. I'm going to curse. My guests are going to curse. We're going to say some shit that might be a little outlandish. It's going to be what it is. And if you're not down with that, that's fine. I can understand. I'm not something you pump in the car with your kids in it. That's fine. If it means, and I'm going to say this out loud so people understand the severity of what I'm trying to say. If it means it cuts down my views, my likes, and my downloads, so be it. I want that clear, because people will say, well, more people will listen to your show if you just cut the cursing down. I'm going to either gain viewers or lose viewers based on myself. I'm betting on me. And if you want to bet on me, let me tell you, that's a safe fucking bet. Okay? I understand that the language can be a little coarse, and sometimes the subject matter can be a little rough. Okay? I understand that. I respect that. And if that's your thing, that's fine. I'm going to openly admit to you, you shouldn't be listening to my show. I've said it from day one. I'm doing this show for me. If it ends up being something you like, then please follow along with us, listen, download, share, yada, yada. But I'm doing this for me. It's an outlet for me. And when I speak during an outlet, sometimes I got 4-letter words, okay? So if it means that I have to sacrifice some of the success that I probably could have if there was a cleaner version, then so be it. And I'm also not doing a double, which is something else that's been suggested to me. Well, why don't you do one uncensored episode and then one kid-friendly episode? Because I don't want to do a fucking kid-friendly episode. Fuck the kids. Let them go on the fucking Netflix and listen to their shit, or Radio Disney, or whatever the fuck it is that these kids listen to, okay? And let them get their entertainment through that. I'm not for kids. I'm not a kid-friendly show. I'm probably never going to be a kid-friendly show. Even if I'm successful enough to get picked up by somebody, the mature content's not going anywhere. Okay? It just isn't. I'm sorry if you have sensitive ears to it. I'm sorry if I make my show listening a little bit more difficult because of it. I genuinely am sorry for it. But this is the way that it's going to be. This is the way that it is. So get used to it, or legitimately, not many show hosts would tell you this, but if it's really something that bothers you, I need you to stop listening, because I don't want you to get this image in your head and become negative to me or negative to my family, or I don't want this to be a big problem between me and someone that I know personally or even as a fan. I don't want to upset people. This is just the way that I talk, and this is the way that I allow people on my show to talk. All opinions are expressed by the individual, but I'm the leader of my ship. I'm the captain of my ship. I have the power to edit things out, and I have the power to make sure that whatever happens, I'm responsible for it. This is my show. Okay? So, I may not co-sign everything that people say because I have a difference of an opinion. And even if I have a difference of an opinion, anyone who comes on the show is free to express theirs. And I don't have to agree with them. And I don't have to go back and forth with them about it. But it's uncensored for a reason. This is going to be used as a platform for people to say what it is they want to say. Okay? So that's that. Sorry I took a few extra minutes to get that point across, but I think it needed to be said. So thank you so much for listening to the show. Please continue to listen on Podbean, which is ajoum.podbean.com. Again, on iTunes. I'm looking for other avenues, maybe Stitcher or whatever it is that I can do to get my podcast out there. More and more I will do. So thank you so much for following along. Spread the word and let them know Orsini's Uncensored Mind is freaking awesome.
Please listen to my daddy show.
Please listen to my husband's show.